Watchman of Ephraim here, or Rick, just got over a cough and a cold. It's been a few weeks since I last did a teaching, a video. This is a Donald Trump, last President of the USA, Ephraim, exclamation point, question mark, test the spirits to see if they are of God. I believe Donald Trump is the last president of the USA. That, of course, needs to be tested. I have his oracle, if that's true. I have what I believe is a very important update here, a very important event that most people probably did not hear concerning Syria and the United States. Share an article with you just to review. I have been saying for some time, for years, that somehow, some way, Syria and the United States must become allies. And they must come against, here's Big Don, we'll see, they must form an alliance, and they must come against the nation of Judah that goes by our name, Israel. Ephraim, let my name and the name of my fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, be named on the lads, and let them become a multitude in the midst of the earth. It's Genesis 48. Verses like 18, 19. So, anyways, they must form an alliance and come against Judah. And Judah is going to cry out to the king of the north and the Antichrist. I do not believe that Big Don here is the Antichrist. He can't stop anything that's going on in the Middle East or over in Ukraine. He can't. He says a lot of words, but doesn't look like this fierce king to me. Again, that which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done. There's nothing new under the sun. What happened in the past has to happen again, only this time on a worldwide grand scale. So if I could this picture in the updates when in years past when Russia was heavily involved in Iran, they were occupying 2/3 of Syria along with Bashar Assad. They were his allies. And then you had over here the 1/3 where the Kurds were, the United States, east of the Euphrates. Well, if you were going to these three foreign countries, nations that were vying for power here, two of them are gone. Russia and Iran. So if you're looking at it now, it's, well, who's got the influence now in Syria? Who does Syria want to buddy up with? Because, well, we have the world reserve currency, and we give foreign aid to, well, that's been cracked down under Trump. But we have relinquished our sanctions on Syria, and we're drawing closer here with economic and now military cooperation. This is huge. Who's the big player now in Syria? The multitude of nations. Ephraim. we are being set. I thought it was going to be through a military confrontation and we would win out. And I stated that many times. But I did say somehow, some way, the U.S. must gain the upper hand in Syria. If I might do a quick review again. If you notice the nation, or the tribe of Ephraim, in the Old Kingdom, the 12, 13 tribes of Israel, Ephraim here looks like the United States. You got New England, Florida, the Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf of America. You've got Texas here. You got the West Coast, Dan here, which Ireland has 36 million people in the United States. In Ireland, there's only 6 million. So take that for what it's worth. You see, that which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay? But truly his younger son, truly his younger brother, will be greater than he, and he will become a multitude of nations. Who's the younger brother? Between Britain and the United States, it's Ephraim. So I'm going to share this article here. Syrian president hosts CENTCOM, or Central Command, chief in Damascus, now notice, as U.S. and Syria explore security cooperation. This is huge. If this goes down, if this continues to develop. As I said, as happened in the past, Syria and Ephraim formed an alliance. Isaiah chapter 7. And they came against Judah. So, and Ahaz cried out to the king of Assyria for help. And the king of Assyria in 33 BC wiped out Damascus, but not totally. And then by 721, 722, had taken Ephraim and the northern 10 tribes into captivity. This is going to happen again. I also witnessed that Europe would break away, the United States, that NATO alliance. That's kind of cooled a little bit, but there's a lot going on, and I'm just laying it off to the side, just as I have laid this off to the side, waiting for the next big event, or the big revelation. Okay. Damascus Syrian President Ahmed El-Shaddad hosted Admiral Brad Cooper, commander of United States Central Command, CENTCOM, U.S. Special Envoy for Syria Thomas Barak, and a high-level American delegation at the People's Palace in Damascus on Friday, where the sides discussed, now notice, political and military cooperation aimed at serving common interests and strengthening security. Notice, aimed at serving common interest and strengthening security and stability in Syria and the broader region. The former meeting, attended by Syrian ministers and senior officials, was described by diplomatic sources as positive, with both parties signaling interest in, now notice, deepening a strategic relationship and expanding channels of communication at multiple levels. We're drawing closer to each other. But if indeed we are Ephraim, and we are, and very, I'm tired. But the show must go on. There is a deepening cooperation between these two nations. And we're being set up for destruction. I know Deuteronomy 32, and I do believe Isaiah 8. God says he's going to hide himself from the house of Jacob. If indeed this is true, and I believe it's true, how many people really know it? Al-Shara and First Lady Latifa El Dubre, hope I pronounced that right, received Cooper and his wife, Susan Cooper, alongside Barack and the U.S. team, in a sign of the visit's high-profile character. According to the sources, the talks connected military security issues. See, we're bringing the military in. Concerning cooperation with Syria, with political diplomatic engagement, reflecting an approach in Washington that tests direct cooperation with Damascus on priority files such as counterterrorism and border control, while exploring options for the future of the U.S. military presence in the region. So notice, for the future of the U.S. military presence, options, exploring options for the future of the U.S. military presence in the region. Now in Isaiah 7, Syria's forces were deployed in Ephraim. This time around, and we still have 900, about 900, I think, in Syria, although we've eliminated some bases. We don't need them now because we are what? Cooperating now with this. It could lead to a huger military presence, just like Russia was in Syria. They are out. We are in. Okay. We are being set up to be destroyed. And the events that have gone down the past few days concerning Charlie Kirk's and that Ukrainian woman just getting her throat slashed, you can see that, they return, but not to the Most High. Hosea 7, 12, 14, somewhere around there. Haven't read it in a while, and my memory is very poor. I could be off even more. Forgive me. The visit unfolds against complex regional and international dynamics as the United States reassesses its Middle East posture after years marked by tension and military interventions. For Damascus, the encounter offers an opening to re-engage Washington after a long period of estrangement shaped by the Syrian war and its aftermath. And it actually goes back further, all the way back to 1979, under this Assad regime. Him and his father, they were pro-Soviet Union in Russia. Now they're tilting pro-USA. They want our investments over there to rebuild them. for one thing. And again, you can't stop Bible prophecy. Friday's talks also recalled an earlier milestone in Syria. In Syrian US relations, a meeting in Riyadh between US President Donald Trump and El Shaddai, held under unusual circumstances. That session initiated discussions on easing US sanctions and reviving an American role in efforts toward a political settlement. Okay. While limited in immediate outcomes, it laid the groundwork for later contacts that, according to observers, helped pave the way for today's dialogue. Oops. So, somehow, some way, Ephraim must form an alliance with Syria. It's there in the Bible. I'll read it again. And they will come against Judah. Donald Trump not happy with the bombings in Qatar by Netanyahu. So this relationship with Israel, it's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold. That's who Donald Trump is. But he can't rein in Netanyahu. He's not this Antichrist that people are trying to pawn off. But let's test the spirits, right? Form an alliance, but it will be our end. Okay. Anything else here? I might do another video a little bit later, or most likely tomorrow. But anyways, there you go. There's the update. Big Don. Last president of the USA, exclamation point, question mark. Test the spirits. I have his oracle. I've had it some time. Right out of the book, if it's true. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening.